with your energy forecast for February 2024. So on February 23rd, we have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, how it is that we're expressing ourselves, moving out of Aquarius energy and into Pisces energy. Okay, so the Aquarius energy had us emotionally detached. Because of that Aquarius energy, it allows us to act as the observer. It allowed our highest form of our intellect to blend its magic with the lower level intellect that of course rules over our ego self. The highest form of our intellect is able to kind of pick up on some of the hints, patterns, behaviors, clues that our lower level intellect doesn't necessarily pick up on. Again, the lower level intellect very rooted in what is in front of our faces, the information, the data, the statistics of our physical realm. The visionary energy of Aquarius definitely has us connecting with the highest form, not only of our intellect, but the higher dimensions of intelligence as well. And this is why we receive aha moments. We can connect the dots. We can see those puzzle pieces click in, revealing a greater, grander vision on what it is that we want to be moving towards. We also have to kind of understand that emotional detachment of that Aquarius energy really goes away quite quickly now that we're diving into Piscean energy and kind of doing a deep dive into our feels. Again, the Piscean energy being the last sign of the zodiac, we are bringing some old ideas, some old thoughts, some old narratives, some old perceptions and understandings to an end in order for us to start a brand new chapter that will, of course, begin when we dive into Aries energy. So Mercury being in Pisces energy, definitely going to affect our thought process in a couple of different ways. First of all, this is a very creative energy. So this is great for creative endeavors, creative projects, musicians, artists, writers, whatever the case may be. We're seeing life through, I'm going to say, semi-rose colored glasses focused on the beauty. And most of the time, the beauty is through the painful aspects of being a human, living through this particular existence. So our thought process becomes a little bit more, I'm going to say, visual. We are very intuitive, very imaginative. We have a lot of creative energy kind of coursing through our headspace at this particular point in time. We can pick up on subtle energies, especially in communication and conversations with other people. This is the point in time where we realize that life isn't just black and white. Like there is a whole spectrum of colors in between that black and white type of perception that many of us have through the majority of the calendar. This is a time for us to unpack that. Again, Pisces energy is about undoing, unlearning, really kind of dissecting, deconstructing what it is that we thought to be true, what it is that we kind of perceived to be true. And so this is a great time for us to be making decisions using our intuition. Now, we are blending our intuition from that Pisces energy with our intellect, again, mercurial energy. So we do get a little bit of column A and column B to kind of blend together, give us a more informed type of perspective on some of the decisions that we may be kind of debating between. We are very focused on spirituality. We are very focused on understanding that there is an unseen world that kind of affects us sometimes more than the physical world actually does. It is a time where we kind of move into the mystical concepts. This is a time where many of us are not going to want to talk, where we're very introverted. We have a whole damn world going on inside of our headspace in our inner realm. And because of that, it is very hard to communicate. In the real world, I know many of us are not going to be able to kind of curl up in a ball and run away from social interactions the way we would definitely prefer, with Mercury being in this Pisces energy. But one thing we know for sure is that we do not want to deal with confrontation. And it might be very hard to do because, again, there's some wackadoodle energies really, really triggering and activating some old ideas, some old thoughts, some old memories, some old emotion. We do have some unpacking to do. However, the natural disposition of Mercury being in Pisces energy is that we don't want any kind of confrontation. Again, the Piscean energy is avoidant. It is the escape artist of the zodiac. We will run. We might not be able to hide for too long, but we're going to give it a good go. Now, in this Piscean energy, there aren't a whole lot of boundaries, and that's why we got to go with the flow. We got to surrender to it. We got to have to surrender to the wackadoodle thoughts. One time we're way up high, the next time we're way down low. One time we're aligning with an idea, goal, a vision. The next minute we're dissecting it, we're picking it apart. That's all part of the process. We do not want to kind of lock anything down, I would say. We don't want to be so rigid, so strict in our labels, in our defining things. We don't want to kind of impose harsh boundaries on things. We just need to accept that things need to be more fluid. This is where the water energy of Pisces comes in. And so we have to recognize that, as much as we would like for things to be logical and practical at all times, because again, many of us prefer to operate out of our intellect and our intuition, that life isn't made of that. Sometimes we can't think in black and white. Sometimes the facts aren't going to be there for us in our face. Sometimes we have to rely on our gut feeling, on our instincts, on our intuition. Sometimes it means that we have to be a little bit more sensitive, move out of our intellect, really align in that heart space in order to navigate our way through decision making, conversations, and unpacking a lot of the, I'm going to say, just emotional baggage that we are looking to kind of unpack, lighten the load before we move into the new astrological year. So yeah, we're sensitive. Yeah, we're a little bit impressionable. Yes, we can be super naive in this particular energy. So again, use your discernment. Yes, let your heart lead, but take your brain with you. And we are definitely going to feel overwhelmed in a lot of cases, even if you are in an imaginary state and everything is good, you're hyping yourself up, you're getting excited and passionate about these new ideas. It can become overwhelming. And you can feel like you're drowning in the good just as much as you can feel like you're drowning in the bad. May I also just remind you that there may be momentary lapses where your narrative is just so dark, so bleak, so depressive that you never think that this particular thought pattern, this process, this mood will ever pass. That is all part of doing a deep dive in the shadow work that Pisces energy provides us with. So don't get caught up in it. It's going to come on quick. It's going to leave just as quick. We don't want to make any rash decisions while kind of swimming in the deep darkness of our thoughts, of our ideas, of our memories. The great thing to do is to tap into a spiritual outlet, meaning use the artistry, use your words, sit down, do some automatic writing, paint a picture, go out, take a picture of the world around you. Do all the things that you are being drawn to do in order to access that amount of creativity that is, for many of us, been laying very dormant, very stagnant within us for a very long time. So although this Piscean energy requires us to kind of be alone and do the inner work, and kind of run through our thoughts and really dissect our memories and everything of the sort, there is a building energy, a creator energy that kind of gets downloaded us in as well. And so it's not all kind of dark, gloom, and doom. However, the highs are very high and the lows are very low. And although we should be trying to achieve balance each and every time we have the opportunity to do so, Pisces energy just isn't the time where we're going to be successful in doing that. So be very kind to yourself, challenge yourself to reframe every thought, every idea, every memory that pops up, and especially where conversations and communications are concerned, be very, very aware of your words, of your tone, of how it is that you're expressing yourself. And of course, be real and raw and vulnerable with that expression as well. So again, we will not see Mercury be in this Pisces energy for very long. We will be seeing Mercury shift into Aries energy, kind of leading the charge, so to speak, taking place early March, as we anticipate that resurrection, that rebirth, that renewal that comes when we jump into that new astrological calendar.